Welcome. Hope everybody's had a good week and a nice start to the weekend. We are on tap for one break tonight, and that's a half case of Heritage Baseball, and it happens to be the start of a new case as well. We are going to go over some information before we actually start ripping, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with that while everybody's getting in the room and getting settled here. So first up, feedback. It is automated on eBay, for my account anyway, and anytime you leave positive feedback for me, you are instantly going to get the same in return. So that's a win-win, no waiting. And of course, the other thing there is to say thank you. Always appreciate you being here, bidding, breaking, chatting, and hanging out with me on this Friday night. Next Friday's Friday the 13th, too. Ooh, have you thought about that? Like, I'm not liking that. I never really like Friday the 13th. I don't know, superstitious. So this is a look at what is coming up in the days ahead. Tomorrow night, where it's a pair of multi-sport jerseys, and those will be sold spots by the first letter of the last name and listed in the football category. Then we'll break a Leaf autograph baseball bat and the back half of the case of Donruss baseball that we started on Wednesday night. We will finish up tomorrow night. Sunday night is an off night. Monday night, we're going to finish up the case of Heritage that we're about to start here tonight. We'll break the back half of it on Monday. Tuesday, it is an all memorabilia night. 3 TriStar Game Changers autograph baseballs, a Leaf autograph baseball jersey, a TriStar autograph football, like an actual regulation football, and then 2 more of our autograph multi-sport jerseys. So Tuesday night is all about the memorabilia. Wednesday night, we do have 2 new releases. We're going to break them both. Impeccable Basketball by the full case, and also a 20-box full case break of Contenders Optic Football. Those are 2 10-box inner cases. They're not from the same master case, though. So one 10-box case came from one distributor. Another 10-box case came from another distributor. So that's how we arrived at our 20-box case quantity. For those of you who care about that sort of thing, many people don't, some people do. And here's what you need to know shipping-wise. Of course, all the cards are shipping from this break. I am anticipating to get it out the door and on the way approximately Tuesday. If I can get something sorted and sent faster than that, of course, I will gladly do so. But since I'm not 100% sure that I can, we'll leave it setting for Tuesday and just hope for faster. How about that? All right, we are breaking a 6-box half case of 2020 Topps Heritage Baseball, and this is break number 3. And of course, it ended tonight on eBay, the same night we're breaking it, which is Friday night, the 6th of March. Team names are on the left-hand side, the eBay user ID of each winning bidder across from their team on the opposite side. Now, since this is the start of a new case, but we're not breaking the entire case tonight, what I will do is take all 12 of the boxes out. I'm going to number each of them on the end and then use random.org to figure out which ones we open tonight and which ones will be opened in our next break of this. You're also going to notice right now that your background is getting blurry. That is on purpose, very much intentional. I don't like all the zooming in and out, and I like to look at things up closely, so that's how we have to do it. But first things first, let's get this case opened up and figure out which ones we're going to look in tonight. Oh man, I missed the seam where the tape is. You know, there's that little sweet spot there. And I missed it. The first time, anyway. All right, let's see. Where can I... Actually, I can probably number these on the front easier than the end. So let's stack them. Yeah, we'll stack them like that. And then I can use that white circle to do some numbering. How about that for a plan? Yeah, and unfortunately, this case has kind of got a lot of boxes in it for us to haul out and go through this, but it is the right way to do it so that everybody's got an equal shot at whatever may come out. Letting random pick out our boxes for us is the best way to ensure that that's going to happen. Hey, that's funny. His YouTube username is "Don't Rip My Jersey. Altuve's wife will get mad." Oh, that's funny. Wasn't that the strangest excuse, though, for real? Yeah, like his wife told my wife, don't rip his jersey. He'll get mad. I'll get mad or whatever. Like, I think it was Carlos Correa, wasn't it, that said Altuve's wife told his wife not to rip his jersey? I don't know. It was so strange, all of it. Anyhow, let's get over here and deal with this. So when I do random, if I have 9 or fewer items in a list, I do it 3 times. Only the third random counts and is the determining factor. When we have 10 or more, as we will with this, we do random 1 single time. All right, looks like we are opening boxes 2, 10, 12, 8, 11, 7. So 2, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. 2, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. All right. 2, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. Let's just get all of this out of there except for the 2. And grab the 9, and then we should be good, right? 2, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. All right, give me a second to get these other 6 put away. Okay. So Heritage Baseball. We will find either an autograph or a relic in each one of our boxes. And there will also be parallels, and there will be a box loader, and usually a short print of some sort. And what else? Some numbered things. There'll be some chrome cards that'll be numbered. I'm kind of just trying to think off the top of my head. There's of course, some other numbered parallels that we may pull as well, but I guess mostly we'll talk about them as we come to them. But first things first, let's get our box loader extracted. A couple of different kinds of box loader options that we may find. This one is for the Rockies, Nolan Arenado. It's known as Baseball's Greatest Moments. We can also find original cards that are from 1971 that have legitimately been in circulation since 1971 that Topps bought back and just added the gold foil stamp to it and put them in here. So we may find some of those too. You thought somebody slipped you a Mickey. Yeah, I know, right? That's why I always warn people right before I adjust the focus, because otherwise people are like, hey, it's blurry. I can't see what's going on. People that jump in right as you're doing it or whatever. Yeah, the background always stays blurry, but the cards, those we can see nicely. And I can't stand all that zooming in and out. Like, it just makes me nuts. So that's why I prefer to just manually set it and change it myself. Well, yeah, the buybacks are, you're saying the buybacks are in horrible shape in this product. They always are in Heritage, because listen, they were not made the same way in 1971 that they are today. So for one thing, they're almost always terribly miscut and off-center, because all the cards were that way in the 60s and the 70s for the most part. And the other thing is, you got to remember, these are not cards that Topps just kept since 1971. These are cards that have been out in circulation and been in and out of people's hands who knows how many times, and then Topps buys them back. So yes, in addition to being off-center and miscut, they are often going to have rounded corners, worn corners. You're going to see chipping, all kinds of edge and corner issues. I've seen them come out with creases before. I mean, you just don't know what you're going to get. But again, that's just kind of in there for the nostalgia of it. And it is a free kind of thing. It's not considered, I mean, it is a hit, I guess, but it doesn't replace our autograph or relic card or anything like that. It's just kind of a bonus in the box. So I figure, you know, it's kind of cool to have them. And sometimes you pull a good player, which is fun too. Kyle, you need some Tigers tonight? All right, we will try to find you some Tigers. You've been out of the pack since 1967 and you're in better shape. Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably not in better shape, but anyway, we take it as we get it, right? Okay, so our rookies largely look like that. We may occasionally find some rookies that are freestanding, and some of them, if we do, will be a short print. Some of these I'm still flipping over because I've only broken this a couple of times. I still haven't quite gotten fixed in my head what all of our short prints look like. So the reason you see me flip some over occasionally is I'm making sure I'm not going past an action image variation or another short print. So we come up on our hit out of box number 1 pretty quickly tonight. And it is a Clubhouse Collection relic for the Astros and Michael Brantley. So that takes care of the hit out of box number 1. And of course, we're going to roll on down the road here at a pretty good little clip through the base for the most part. There are other variations that can be pulled. There are nickname variations. There's one where the team name is written in silver. There can be missing facsimile signature is a variation. Throwback jerseys are variations. I mean, a lot of those throwback jersey, nickname, etc., those are pretty hard to pull. But we could. You never know. Anything's possible. Flashbacks. Now, there are flashbacks in here that are baseball related that have a baseball specific player and team on it, and that's cool. The ones that don't, like this one, they're going to sit right up there in what I call our housekeeping area. At the end of the night, all of those will be going to a new home. We'll use random.org and send them collectively to one team. Then and now, these, of course, as you see, have 2 different teams on them. They also have to go in housekeeping because at the end of the night, it'll go to one or the other team that you see on there. There are, of course, all of our league leaders cards, and that's going to be another situation. We'll have multiple teams on the same card, so it will also end up going to random.org at the end of the night. And occasionally, guys, I go past a short print. I don't catch it. I don't see it. And you guys don't catch it, and it gets right by both of us. If that happens, I don't want you to worry because I check for them. And, of course, if we find one when I'm sorting, it's still going to ship out to the teams as normal. So the last break, we did have one that I didn't catch. Nobody caught. You guys didn't see it either. It was a name variation, a silver team name variant. But I caught it when I was sorting, which would generally be the case. But to that end, should you see one go by tonight and you're like, hey, you just went past a short print and I know it's a short print, then you jump in there and tell me. If possible, let me know as quickly as you can and kind of what the player was in front or behind, because sometimes there's a little lag in chat from the time you type it into the time I see it. It helps to kind of gain some insight as to where it was or is in the pack. And of course, I will go back and find it if I miss it. But absolutely, if you see one, flag me down and let me know, because there's a lot of things to look for on these cards. So I'm looking for those variations, and I'm also trying to keep an eye on chat and working on keeping the break flowing smoothly too, So it's definitely possible for something to get by me. I even had one where I didn't catch the signature. I did not catch the actual signature because they all have, of course, the printed signatures on them. And so, yeah, it went right by me, and we're at the end of the box, and I'm thinking, where's our hit? So they said, oh, you just went past it. You just went right past it a minute ago. So, of course, we went back and found it, and it all worked out fine. But basically, I'm letting you know that feel free to jump in, because I could miss it first round through. Don't think yet. Does not apply to Mr. Kingery. The other thing is you don't have to look at that little code anymore on the back. That's how we used to tell if something was a variation or confirm it. You don't have to do that anymore. It now tells us on the back that it is, like this one that I recognized, Christian Yelich, is an action image variation. You'll see it says action there on the back above his picture. So this is our short print from box number 1, Christian Yelich and the Brewers. Excuse me. With the action image variation. More of our home run leaders and such. All those leaders cards, because they have multiple teams on them, will go up there straight into that housekeeping area where they will sit until the end of the night, and then we will find them a home. So that's generally speaking about what you need to know from Heritage, I think. You said you tried to get the Cubs, but somebody has deep pockets tonight. Yeah, I mean, you never know on any given night, right? So one night some team might go incredibly expensive, and then the very next night it might swing around and be incredibly inexpensive. That's kind of the blessing and the curse of the eBay auctions. You never know which night you're going to hit it. If you're going to bid on it on the night where it's going nuts, or if you're going to bid on it on the night where you get done and you're like, ooh, I got a good deal. So now we're going to get our first look at what is one of the original 1971 buyback cards that we've been talking about. So if someone hasn't seen one yet, you'll get an idea of what we've been discussing here in terms of the condition. So see how the corners are just destroyed. I mean, not to mention the fact that it's miscut and all that, but the corners are just absolutely destroyed. But what are you going to do? So that's our box topper here for the Braves, an original 1971 card for the Braves. Now comes the long, boring, yuck part, and that's taking all these cards out of the packs. I swear, that's my least favorite part. Even more so than the sorting, which I don't hate the sorting, but it can be very, very time consuming, especially on a product like this that has a lot of base. So I don't hate it, but it's not my favorite thing. But the thing I just cannot stand is when there are so many wrappers to open out of one box, because you spend so much time just opening the wrappers. But of course, Topps is good to us in many regards, in the sense that the flagship Series 1, Series 2 update, our Bowman draft, and even some of our other similar products to that, they do make the jumbo packs, and they put the hits always in the middle in that same spot so that you can open fewer packs and get to the hits quicker. So for the most part, they do take pretty good care of us in regard to that sort of thing. But products like this, while I love the cards and I look forward to Heritage every year, I don't look forward to opening all the packs. I'll admit it. Tell you what, let's just stop and look at some of these, then we'll open some more packs. I'm tired of delaying our gratification on this group. Making sure those were both Rangers. So our first chrome of the night. Couple of different variations of chrome. This one, which is just kind of what I'm going to call the base chrome, those are the higher numbered to 999. But there are also chrome versions that are silver, And they are numbered to 571, so a little lower numbered on the rest of them. On the silver ones. I shouldn't say the rest of them. I don't know if we're going to pull black or silver the rest of the night, but you get the general idea. You know what I mean. I know. One of these days I'm going to get used to what everybody's base looks like and not keep flipping some of these over thinking they're image variations when they're not. But until then, I'm going to be flipping some over. Well, because some of them do look like action images. I mean, the name of the short print is Action Image Variations, and a lot of them are action images versus the portraits that we see on the other ones. So you would kind of think that maybe they would make it more distinctive. Is that the word I'm looking for? So, of course, that flashback, it had Johnny Bench on the front of it. So we know, in a Reds uniform, he only played for the Reds. So we know then that that particular flashback will go to the Reds. It doesn't have to be set aside anywhere. And these inserts, I can't remember what these are called, but they come out, I don't know, maybe once a box, maybe not even once a box, but not super frequently, in other words. That then and now, I was stuck there to Martin Perez. All right, now we got to stop and open a few more packs and do it all again. Sorry, I know, ice is clinking. I've got ice water. I usually have bottled water, and I may have to switch to that because I know that ice clinking is irritating. I don't know, I feel dehydrated today. I don't know why either. You ever have days like that? Or just for some reason you're just like thirsty all day long? That's how I've been today, all day. So our new releases on Wednesday, of course, are basketball and football releases, not baseball. We are supposed to, I think, have a new Leaf baseball release on Friday of next week, Friday the 13th, I believe. I think it's called Lumber Kings. I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure I ordered some of it, but I don't really remember very much about it. So another variation that we'll have to set aside, the ones that say National League, American League. So of course they've also, I'm running out of places to put all these little piles, but they also have to have a little place to hang out since they're featuring 2 different teams on each card as well. Who was that on? Oh, that's Will Smith. Okay. Here comes our hit. And looks like we are headed to the Phillies with a Clubhouse Collection relic for Aaron Nola. And you got a little bit of a pinstripe over there on the edge. Oh, now that flashback, of course, is Evel Knievel, so that one is not going to be a baseball-related one. 2 holes, no. Tanaka, that should be our action image. Let's flip it over and see if I am right or wrong. I am wrong. See? Looks like an action image, doesn't it? Haha. Does. Looks like it should be one. But guess what? It's not, because it would have said it if it were. So, that means more than likely it's in there somewhere and I didn't see it. That's more than likely what that means. So, give me a second here. I'm going to try to just real quickly look through on the backs of this last box here and see if I can find. It's not, I mean, it's not guaranteed that we've got a short print in this box, but just most of the time we do. So I'd rather just take a second here and look real quickly on the back side and see if I can find it. And if I can't, then we'll assume that maybe really there wasn't one, but most of the time there is. So, looking. So far, no. But I do have another little stack of them over here still yet. I just can't believe there's not one in here. I just think I've gone somehow past it. No. All right. Well, kids, maybe there's really not one. Still looking, though. I don't suppose any of you saw it go by, right? Because you would have said if you did. So since nobody piped up and said it when it went by, I'm going to say nobody there saw it either. So yeah, all right, I don't see it. I will look again, of course, when I'm sorting and try again to check it for it. But I didn't see it in a quick little sort through looking at the backs either. So maybe we got one there, maybe we didn't. I'm not sure. Super Baseball, that happens to be the third type of box loader variation that we can have. It looks just like a big, giant baseball card. So our first 3 boxes each had a different box loader. That's nice. Doesn't always work that way, but we're getting a nice overview tonight of the types that can come out, and that is the Padres and Fernando Tatis Jr. They're bringing back Topps Sterling this year. I think wasn't that a product they made a long time ago? Now, I know we have Bowman Sterling that started, again, hobby-wise last year, I guess it was. But they're going to have Topps Sterling this year, which pretty high. It's very high-end. It's quite expensive. So hopefully it will have some nice hits in it. And if you haven't heard this news already, we talked about this a few weeks ago, but it's still something you may not have heard yet. They're going to have a new variation for Allen and Ginter. There's going to be a chrome variation of Allen and Ginter. And then there's going to be a chrome variation of something else that was an update set. And now I've forgotten what it was. What was the other one? It was an update set and chrome. And now I can't think what it is. See, that's what happens. It was a couple of weeks ago and I've forgotten. Was it Gypsy Queen? I don't know. I can't remember. But anyway, a couple new things coming down the pike. Don't know a lot about them yet. Especially in regard to Allen and Ginter. I mean, is it just going to be the same set but in chrome? Or are they going to do a different player selection? I don't know. Not quite sure how that's going to work, but they announced it at the industry summit a couple of weeks ago, so something to look forward to in the way of new products from Topps anyway. Well, there we go. I keep checking that Mike Ford, don't I? I gotta stop doing that. Mike Ford is base. I need to commit that to memory. I see a chrome coming here. This one is the silver variant that I spoke about earlier, so it should be numbered to 571 on the back. And we can see there that it is Evan Longoria and the Giants, and it's numbered to 571. There are loads of those league leader cards in here. Tons and tons and tons of them. Of course, we're not far away from opening day. Opening day baseball actually does ship out next week, as a matter of fact. I don't break that product. I usually get a little of it, and I open some of it myself and use some of it for other things. We don't really break it because, I mean, there are hits in it, but they're not guaranteed. So in other words, you don't know if you open a whole case, are you going to hit one thing, 5 things, no things. But since we don't particularly have a way to know that with opening day, I don't usually break it. But it's got short prints in it that sometimes can be worth some money for sure. So we have an autograph as our hit from this box. And it is headed to the Oakland A's with Marcel Lashman. I'm not sure how to pronounce it truthfully. Guy played a long time ago, so a little throwback ink there for the Oakland A's. Our hit out of box number 3. So we're 2 relics and 1 autograph at the moment. Another flashback that's not related to a baseball team. Man, I tell you what, these leaders cards, there's many, many of them. Another flashback. The teams that always have the biggest, or the team that seems like it always has the biggest pile in here, is the Astros and the Nationals too. Those 2 teams have a ton of cards in this product, it seems like. Every time I sort it, those 2 teams have, it looks like, way more cards than everybody else. And of course the Nationals get all those World Series cards that feature them. There are some that feature the Astros too. It's probably one of the reasons that they get a lot of cards, I guess, right? Oh, the guy from the A's, he was a manager and not a player? I thought he was a player. I don't know. Listen, I definitely don't claim to be any expert on guys from the 70s, for sure. I mean, some of them I remember knowing about, Hank Aaron and stuff that played, but I definitely don't know probably most of the guys that would have been around that time of year. But it sounds like you're saying he maybe was a manager as opposed to being a player then, perhaps. I don't know, guys. Sorry if I misspoke. I guess I just assumed he was a player. Oh, he was both. Okay. But he was a better manager than he was a player. Okay. Well, that can happen too. That is for sure. That can happen too. All right. We are rolling on into box number 4. So we've opened 3. We have 3 left to go. Got another greatest moments for our box loader. Yeah, cards certainly are different than when I was young. I mean, this definitely gives you an idea of my age, but we still got a stick of gum in every pack, and they sold them at the grocery store, and you could go buy them with your allowance for a quarter or something. I don't remember what the price was, but probably 50 cents or whatever. It wasn't much. And I can't imagine being a kid these days and wanting to get involved with collecting because there's so much stuff out there, and it's a lot of it is very expensive. Kershaw for the Dodgers, greatest moments. Of course, you do have breaking now, so that would help. But I mean, if you're just a young kid looking to buy some packs on your own, there's kind of limited stuff that you can get, really, I guess. And that's why they make some of those, and obviously why they have retail versions and everything else is to give the people who don't want to spend as much money, to give them a way to still be involved. But of course the hit ratio is much different. Back in the days of having gum in the pack, the hit was finding the rookie card. There were no such things as autograph cards or relic cards, man, or any of that. It was just all about finding the rookie. I would think it would be hard if you were a kid and you knew that there were autographs and relics and all this other cool stuff out there, and, you know, you were buying stuff that didn't have any of that. I think it would be so disappointing. Like as when we were kids, pay your money, you take your chances. You don't know what anybody else has hit. There was no internet then. You just knew what your friends had and what you had and traded them around, and that was that. Or in my case, my cousins. Cousins were a bit older than I, and boys, so that's how I got started, I guess, being interested in it, although my dad had some interest in it too. But they would trade me cards and give me cards of players I liked, like Johnny Bench and Hank Aaron and stuff like that. Of course, that's also the time when you would still put cards in bicycle spokes to make that cool little noise. It's like, no wonder some of these come back looking like they've been through the ringer. They might have been. They might have been in somebody's bicycle spoke. You never know. Now, I never put mine in a bicycle spoke, but my cousins did. And Edwin Diaz for the Mets, another insert variation there, an insert parallel there. Whoops, that is a leader's card. There we go. Francisco Lindor, action image variation for the Indians. Wonder what they're going to do with all of the sporting events. You know, in Europe, they are already have already made the decision on some soccer games or rugby games or whatever, that they're going to go ahead and play the games, but they're not going to allow any spectators. And we've had some Division III school say the same thing, who's a tournament host site for a D3 school basketball. And they've said, yeah, we're going to play the games, but we're not going to have any fans because of the spread of coronavirus and everything. So it's going to be interesting to see how the next few weeks go with a lot of sporting events on the books. I guess did I just go past a leader? No. There was one time in the past when, who was it? The Orioles maybe, and somebody played in an empty park. Like, I want to say there was some kind of civil unrest. I don't remember exactly what had happened. And I really don't remember it personally from the time. I just remember hearing about it, knowing about it at some point well after the fact, like years later. The Marlins, that is to 571 with the parallel. And it was a baseball game that they played in front of no fans. And I mean, I think they were talking about that you could hear just anything and everything. Because think about it, if there's no fans, you're going to hear what they're saying in the other dugout. You're probably going to hear what the umpires are chatting about, you know. You wouldn't even have to call to the bullpen. You could probably just yell across the field, hey, it's time for you to come in. Roll on down here. I don't know. I don't think it would be very much fun. I think it would be kind of weird, truthfully, but they may do it the way this thing is rocking around. You never know. A second autograph. So now we're 2 autographs and 2 memorabilia. This is the Marlins and Yamamoto. So a rookie autograph, some throwback ink, and a couple of relics. Not a bad haul so far. A few more boxes left to go, though. More yet to see before we're done. You said you used zip ties in your spokes. Well, that makes more sense, doesn't it, than using baseball cards, because baseball cards, something you want to keep. Zip ties, who cares? I don't even remember there being zip ties when I was a kid. I guess there was. I don't know. I don't know how long zip ties have been around, but I don't remember them. You said all sports events in Italy are going to be played in front of no fans for the entire next month because the media hyped coronavirus. Yeah, I knew it was somewhere in Europe that was enacting that, but I didn't realize that it was Italy. For some reason, I thought it was somewhere else, but I'm sure they won't be the only ones to do it, because apparently the thing spreads pretty easily and you're contagious for 5 to 7 days before you even feel sick. So you can imagine, I mean, you have somebody at a game exposing all the people around them, and if they were sick and before they got sick and they didn't know it, and next thing you know, you got all those people from the stadium exposed, and it would just be crazy. So John Bateman Expos. This card has really seen better days. I mean, it's creased, it's bent, it's chipped, it's worn, it's miscut, it's off center, it's insanely bad shape. But nonetheless, it does go to the Nationals. Now, for those of you who might not know, the former Montreal Expos are the current Washington Nationals. So that's how that's going to be awarded. Any Expos that we see go to the Nationals. Cards always follow their franchise around. But I don't even think, I mean, stopping fans from attending games might help slow it down a little, but it still wouldn't stop it. Because it's just a different world than it used to be. Everybody's traveling everywhere all the time. So people are always on planes or buses, planes, trains, and automobiles, right? Yeah, so I think it just has to run its course and let them find a vaccine for it at this point. Don't think you can stop it. But you might slow it down a little, I don't know. But a month, that is a long time for them to say no fans for a month in Italy. I mean, around here we have, of course, the Kentucky Derby, first Saturday in May. But even aside from that, we have a local racetrack called Keeneland. And they only run for 16 days in the spring and 16 days in the fall. That's it. So, actually, I think it's 15 days in the spring because they don't run Easter Sunday, and 16 in the fall. So you're talking about a place that only has live racing basically 30 days out of a year, and then potentially having to consider what might happen. I don't know. I don't think that would be very good for their livelihood either. Pete Alonso and the Mets. That is our Clubhouse Collection relic. And you did get a pinstripe on it. And you'll see down there it's numbered to 99. Hand numbered 10 of 99. So that's kind of cool. If you've got the Mets, get your nice little polar bear relic. Hey, Gil, how are you tonight? What's going on with you? We are just rocking through a little heritage baseball over here. Talking about how coronavirus is impacting sports. More so overseas than here, at least at this moment in time. But you've got to think, gosh, man, I mean, it would be expensive, too, by the way, to shut all that stuff down and say no fans, because you'd have to refund all those ticket prices. I mean, it's no small thing. Our action image variation tonight is Bryce Harper and the Phillies. So that is 3 that we have found so far out of the 5 boxes that we've opened. I feel like when I'm sorting, I'll probably find at least 1 more. There could be 2 more. I don't know, but I feel like we'll probably find them. I can't guarantee you that I will, but somehow I feel like I went past them or something. So we'll see how it shakes out. Whoops, that is a non-baseball situation. I fully expect that panic buying is I think it's already kind of overtaken a large part of the country from what they are telling us anyway. Everybody's running out and clearing off the shelves, and if it keeps popping up in places, which it will, I think it's going to show up in every state before it's all said and done. Then it'll be interesting to see how that happens. Or what happens. But you'll be happy to know that I preemptively ordered a bunch of extra supplies in terms of top loaders and sleeves and all that stuff, because you know what? All that's made in China. So even though there's plenty over here with our distributors right now, when that starts to run low, who knows how long it will be before more shows up. Because, of course, production is slowed or shut down in many instances and things in China. And then also, I don't think we're importing as much stuff because we're trying to keep stuff from coming in to, because of the infection potential or whatever. So I just stocked up to be on the safe side. So we got plenty anyway. The Tampa Bay Rays and Charlie Morton, a chrome variation to 999. That's funny. You know, it's funny that you say that, though. Don't rip my jersey. Because there are people who really legitimately thought it had to do with the beer Corona. And people were looking up information about that and thinking it was somehow tied to the beer. So it's funny that you said that over there. But they had to... And truthfully, it probably has hurt their sales because there probably are still people who think it is tied to Corona, the beer. Which, hey, I used to work in the beer business. I was this division sales manager for, or I should say the on-premise sales manager for our district. We had a variety of brands, really everything but the Budweiser brands. So we had all the Coors brands, Miller brands, all the imports that didn't fall under Anheuser-Busch. We had everything but Anheuser-Busch under roof. So Corona was for when I had that job. Corona was also one of my responsibilities. So I'm glad I don't have that job now because it probably has hurt their sales. I'm not kidding. It legitimately probably has hurt the sales of Corona beer. It's crazy, right? Kyle, you have the Labatt virus. Labatt's blue. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's not a bad virus to have. I could see how that one would be all right to contract, Labatt's virus. Aristides Aquino for my Cincinnati Reds, a Greatest Moments box loader out of box number 6. So we are underway here on our last box. So after we look through these, what we will do is then go into our housekeeping area and deal with all these varieties here who have multiple teams on the card. We'll use random.org to find a home for all of that stuff that's setting up there in housekeeping. After we do that, we will recap our autograph hits, relic hits, and our chrome cards and any short prints or image variations that we have found. After that, we'll put up the shipping information one more time and we'll take one final look at what's coming up in the days ahead. So that's what you can expect to happen here over the course of the next 15 minutes or so. So just out of curiosity, those of you who are in the room right now watching live, how do you feel about breaking a product like this, like Heritage, where maybe we break a full case, but we only ship certain things? So we don't ship veteran base, for instance. If we only shipped rookie base, autographs, relics, the chrome cards, the autograph parallels, that sort of thing. Would you want to do that or not want to do that? I know there are a lot of set builders out there, and so absolutely that's why we've done these first couple of cases by the half case and let everything ship. Oh, look at that. They did Photoshop him in there in a red uniform. But thinking about it going forward, how would you feel about that if we stripped out the extraneous stuff, if you will? but opened more at once, opened the full case at once. Strong Crosby, you would be in favor of full case without base cards. Okay. What's everybody else thinking? Hi, Strong Crosby, by the way. You like that too? Don't rip my jersey. All right, excellent. That's honestly how I prefer to do it. But I do know that I have a lot of set builders, and I know that this is a set that is very popular with set builders. So I try to at least do 1 or 2 cases where all the cards ship, but I have to cut them up into half case breaks at a time when I do that, because it just takes a long time to sort all this. Breaking wise, it wouldn't take long really to sort a case. I mean, to break a case, but sorting wise, it would take forever to get it sorted and ready to ship if all the cards were shipping. So I figure maybe we do the best of both worlds, where we've done the first couple of cases for the set builders if they're interested, and then maybe the next few cases we do the full case and strip out the base or something like that. Kyle says no. See, he wants them all because this product is a lot of base, 99% base. So yeah, he doesn't want to have it stripped out in here. So yeah, there's always a give and take, if you will. Some that prefer one way, some that prefer another. Of course, the rookies would still ship, but there is a lot of veteran base in this product. You're quite right. Percentage-wise, it is very high. Yeah, the base to donate to a children's hospital is a great way to do it. I know a lot of people that do that with base that they receive in breaks that they don't want. I actually have a bunch of base sitting here right now of my own that I need to take and drop off to like the Ronald McDonald House and that sort of thing. Not just in baseball, in general. I've got a lot of base cards from a variety of sports that I need to rehome before long. It's just getting it all together and getting it over there. Bryce Harper and the Phillies with a Clubhouse Collection relic. Gil, you like getting all the cards too? Yeah, so you guys are about equally split tonight in terms of who, and on a product like this, in terms of who wants to get the base and who doesn't want to get the base. Now, some products like Series 1, Series 2, Update, I never ship the veteran base in that, ever. And I don't think many breakers do, frankly. Oh, I thought his signature was missing there for a second, but it's there. It's just really hard to see. I got all happy for a hot second. I thought we had a missing signature variation, which is a little bit harder to find. So for a second, I was thinking we were in the money, but alas, it turned out that I was wrong. Okay, so that is what we had to look at. Now, lots of housekeeping to do. Lots and lots and lots. You had 45,000 base cards that you took to your Ronald McDonald House. Wow. I haven't counted mine. I don't know how many there are. Of course, if I would just put them in those nice white cardboard containers that hold a couple thousand cards each, I could probably count them up real quickly. I need to actually run to the baseball store and get some of that. All right, so let's see here. How do I want to do this? Let's do these first. These are our flashback cards that do not have a baseball team or a baseball player identified on them. So they're like pop culture, I guess is the easiest way to say it. And I'm also organizing something, so hang on one second. I'm also getting our box loaders organized while I was doing that. Mainly because it's right next to what I needed to grab for this. Well, come on out of there. There we go. All right, so these flashbacks cards, they're going to go as a group to one team. We'll take a look at what they are comprised of. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. And what I will do is go to the spreadsheet and copy all of our team names. Then I will paste those team names into random.org. Since we have, once again, 10 or more items in our list in this instance, we'll do random one single time. And wherever it lands after we do random, that team will get that little pack of flashback cards. All right, let's get back over here and check it out. See who's going to get them. Did I go past it? Yes, I did. Way past it. All right, just scrolling through so that you can see all the teams got copied and pasted. Good luck, everybody. Looks like those are headed to the Texas Rangers. So this little pack of flashback cards. Now, of course, I am writing on the bag. I am not writing on the card itself. It is written on the little plastic team bag that I put them in. So Rangers taking that group home. Now we're going to deal with the then and now. And this is going to be entered as left and right, pretty easy. But because we're only going to have 2 items, I think I hit our camera at some point, or my camera at some point. So because we're only going to have 2 things in the list, we're going to do random 3 different times on that one. The first 2 will not count. It is only the third and final random that will make our determination for that. Oh boy, what did I do up there? Did I type in Lefort? What did I type in? I wasn't even looking. I was trying to do it left-handed. That probably wasn't real smart, was it? All right, well, that was fun. All right, ignore the first one and the second one. Here comes our third and final. 3 times, date and time stamp goes to the right-hand side of the card. I'm going to put the top one from the stack in a sleeve so that I can write on the sleeve to remind me when it is time to sort that they go to the team on the right. So we are talking Astros, White Sox, Dodger, White Sox, Met, Brewer, Astro, National. And that's how that shakes out. Let's take care of AL, NL. There may be, I feel like I might have missed some of these. Maybe there are some in the stack of that I'll find when I'm sorting the base. I don't know. But if I do, they would just be awarded the same way. We're going to type in top and bottom. Same procedure. I will do it 3 times. First 2 won't count. Third one will determine where those are going to go. All right, ignore the first one and the second one. And here comes our third one. 3 times, date and time stamp gives us the bottom of the card. So that means we are, well, that means I can't get it in the sleeve. We are talking about the Cincinnati Reds and Aristides Aquino. And the other 2 that we can see here are both for the Tigers. Now, again, if I find others like that in the stack when I'm sorting, it's just going to be the same deal, guys. It will simply go to the team on the bottom of that card. Now, this is a big stack. And it's going to be typed in top, lower left, lower right. And same process that we've been doing. Ah, what did that just pop up? All right. All right. First one does not count. Second one does not count. Third and final coming at you now. There it is. 3 times date and time stamp going to the team in the lower left-hand spot. Gill Heritage is all that we're opening tonight. Yeah, just Heritage. Still trying to catch up on that big Wednesday night break. I still have a ton of sorting to do from that. So I can't, and this is another long sort, base card heavy, so can't open a whole lot of stuff when we're doing base heavy stuff like this and Donruss and whatever. It's a rough road to go for a few weeks. All right, so we are looking Astros, Astro, Yankee, Red Sox, National, Brave, Diamondback, Red, Met, Astro, Astro, National, Yankee, Astro, Astro, National, Red Sox, Met, Diamondback, Astro, Yankee, Astro, Met, Astro, Yankee, Diamondback, Red Sox, Reds, Astros, Braves. And ditto if we were to find any additional cards like that when I sort through the base. If I failed to set it aside as we were going along, it will once again, it would simply go to the team down there on that lower left corner. So here it's very similar here. We're top, lower left, lower middle, lower right. And thankfully, the last little stack of these we have to do. So we're approaching the end of having to deal with random. Not quite there, but getting there. Oh, come on, random. What are you doing? He's just sitting there. It's not, like, moving. Come on. It's like, don't give up on me now, random.org. All right, top. All right, so top, lower left, lower middle, lower right. First one does not count. Second one does not count. Third and final right here. 3 times date and time stamp goes to the team in the top position. All right, so that's going to mean Kansas City Royals, the Nationals, Royals, Nationals, Nationals, Royals, Royals, Nationals. And that is all that we had to do in random. So now we've got to get ready to do a little recapping here and see what there is to go over. So these are our box loaders. The original 1971 card for the Expos, which goes to the Nationals, a very well loved, including creases, chipping, edge, corner, rounding, bending, you name it. The Braves and Felix Milan, our second one that's an original 1971 card. Greatest moments, Nolan Arenado and the Rockies. Greatest moments, Aristides Aquino for the Reds. Greatest moments, Kershaw for the Dodgers. And one Super Baseball card box loader headed to the Padres with Fernando Tatis Jr. So that takes care of all the box loaders. I feel like that there are more image variations, more short prints that I'll find when I'm sorting. Usually there would be more than 3, so I feel like there will be some. I can't promise you that there are, but I feel like there might be. So, of course, when I'm sorting, I will look for them. But this is what we found going through. Bryce Harper and the Phillies with the action image. Francisco Lindor and the Indians action. Christian Yelich and the Brewers action. Then numbered to 991, a chrome Charlie Morton for the Rays. To 571, a chrome Brian Anderson for the Marlins. To 571, it's Evan Longoria and the Giants. And our last chrome is the Mets and Jeff McNeil to 999. And then our hits, it is a relic for Bryce Harper and the Phillies. A relic that is hand-numbered down there at the bottom to 99 for the Polar Bear, Pete Alonso, and the New York Mets. An autograph for the Marlins with Yamamoto. A throwback autograph for the A's with Marcel Lashman or Lashman. I really don't know how to say his name. I know that shocks you. Aaron Nola and the Phillies Clubhouse Collection relic, and a Michael Brantley Clubhouse Collection relic for the Astros. All right, so there's the break and there's the recap. Let me get our spreadsheet information up here because that's the next little piece of the pie that I promised to show you again. So let's get that up on the screen. So all the cards ship, anticipating this should be out the door approximately Tuesday. If I can get it sent out to you sooner than that, I will gladly do so. Since I'm not sure that I can, I'm going to leave it setting for Tuesday, and if I can get it out sooner, so much the better. We do not have to worry about consolation cards. All the teams hit cards in this break tonight. So tomorrow night, a pair of Leaf Autograph Multisport jerseys. Spots are sold by first letter of the last name. They are all listed in the football category. That will be followed by a Leaf Autograph baseball jersey and the back half of the case of Donruss baseball that we started on Wednesday night. Sunday night will be an off night. Monday night we'll come back and finish up the back part of this case of Heritage baseball, which should have our hot box in it, I guess, in theory, because we didn't see it in the front half anyway. Then on Tuesday night, it is all memorabilia, 3 autographed TriStar Game Changers baseballs, a Leaf Autograph baseball jersey, a Leaf or a TriStar rather autographed football, an actual like regulation football, and then another pair of the Leaf autographed multi-sport jerseys. On Wednesday night, it is a new release night, and I didn't put it up there, but we are starting at 8:30, so I do need to remember to put that note up there. But we are starting at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific on Wednesday the 11th. We'll be opening a full case of Impeccable basketball and a full case of Contenders Optic football. It will consist of 2 sealed 10-box cases, but they did not come in the same master case. Those 2 sealed inner 10-box cases each came from a different master case, for those of you who care about that sort of thing, which some do, many don't. But anyway, now you know. And I believe it says that in the listing too. So, all right, guys and gals, that is it for me tonight. Thank you very much for being here. Always appreciate you joining me. I hope you have a fantastic weekend ahead. And if you don't stop back and see me tomorrow night, I hope you will come back and see me sometime soon. So I will sign off for tonight and see you tomorrow. Bye now.